Time to go out into the wonderful plains of the Sunset and of the beautiful areas of from Murrayville right across to Ouyen. It's the Ouyen United Kangas report, and it is the man who farms those beautiful hills around Underbull. He joins us now. G'day to you, Andrew Wilsmore.
G'day, mate. Welcome back for another week. All I can say is chocolates aboard, lollies, my friend. It's a long week in footy.
Oh, yes, it was. But your fellows come up against a very good side last week. We'll have a look at that in a moment because first and foremost, we'll just have a quick look at the other senior matches because there was one match that surprised a lot of folk, and it was when Wentworth went down for the first time this season, getting nailed 10-14 to by the Orimple Swallows. Wentworth 4-4, a massive win by Orimple after you did them the week before.
Yeah, look, probably if anybody saw it coming, it was us. We played them the week before, and they were good. They were a well-structured, well-set-up team, so they're a big threat. We certainly took our hats off to them. They fought incredibly hard and didn't really surprise me that they got up and had a win. They're a quality unit. So, yeah, it makes it a little bit tough for us to look at that second spot now. But, they played really well.
Yeah, I think that's the question that comes out of it. Robinbar beat South Mildura in another match there, and it was a big win by Mildura over Redcliffs, which was another little surprise as we sort of preview this week in a moment with Mildura having more than 10-goal win over a Redcliffe side that is certainly struggling. What that did is to put the ladder like this, Wentworth 44, Orimple 40. You blokes are 2 games back now at 32, joined by Robinbar Euston on 32, but you've got a game in hand, and Imperials are 28. So a little danger emerging there that your blokes have got to win matches and don't want to drop any matches now because there's still a chance you could miss finals from here.
Yeah, scary thought. Like I say, we've gone from heading for that second spot and that double chance to, racing for the life raft on the Titanic. Really, we've got to hang in and at least, finish fourth at worst, which we still believe we can. We had so many out last week that we just could not cover the losses. So we've got a better team this week, and we'll get back on track, I believe.
We got Redcliffs this week, South the following week, Robinbar Euston, which could be a danger game in round 17, and in round 18 you get Mildura, the bottom side, but they've been playing better footy too, and can test you. That's at Blackburn Park. So really, 3 of the 4 you should get home in, and the Robinbar Euston one is the one to be careful about in the context of the season. What about last week's matches then? We'll have a look at your boys getting nailed. Probably, I think you alluded to it last week, you were really worried about the number of players out. I think 10 of your best senior footballers not available, and that put a lot of pressure on. And, well, they came to play Imperials at Blackburn Park, and they beat you 10-17 to 7-4.
Yeah, having 10 out of the team was a real worry, and we knew that it was going to be a real battle, and we spoke about it before the game, that if we could have pulled this win off, that it would have been possibly, one of our greatest victories, so undermanned, and we realised it was going to be tough. And for 3 quarters, that belief carried us through. We were right in the game and playing really, really well, but we just ran out of steam, and they kicked 6 unanswered goals in the last quarter, I think, and made the scoreline look not very attractive. But look, the kids that we sent out there did their best. Hats off to them. Certainly tried as hard as they could, and it just comes down to you can't just replace experience, which we've injected a little bit back into our team this week. We've got a few back, and we hopefully can put up a lot better showing. But look, they're a good team as well. No dramas there, but. We knew it was going to be tough. We had a hope for a miracle, but it just didn't quite come with the outs we had.
No, it didn't. David Hankin with 5 and Bradley Hards with 3. They were both good. Simon Callahan for them. What about Darryl Wilsmore? 5 goals out of the 7. Great effort. Benny Mole, my good mate, he got another injury, and I'm led to believe it could be a fractured eye socket, a nasty injury, and he's just, I don't know, just can't get him on the park.
No, he's the captain. He's just having a horrific run. Whether it was COVID, then he got injured, and then he came back, and now injured again. But look, that bloke is made out of some special stuff. If I don't know if you could bottle the toughness or the will to compete that he's got, it's incredible. So, yeah, he went down. We found out later on that he's fractured his eye socket, may need surgery, but he stayed out there. You couldn't get him off. He wasn't coming off, and played the rest of the game. So he's just the man's a freak. You got to love him. But look, it could be season ending. We're not sure, but you're going to see a specialist this week. So hopefully, fingers crossed for Benny that they can plate it up or get him back on the park, because that's where he enjoys life out there.
He does. Great performance from him out at training with the kids too this week. Job Mead, he's a great success story too, coming back from a long-term knee injury to be second best player. Sammy Mead also trying hard, and Todd Barker, Kane Stevens was out of the in the better players. The twos came up against the Imperial side, and out there on this particular day, Imperials were very, very solid, and your boys that came off the field with a loss, 11-13 to 5-3. I guess the numbers out of your reserves playing up in seniors eventually told too in that grade.
Yeah, with no under 18s, we pretty well played most of them in our side. We wouldn't have had a team otherwise, but and they performed really well. We've got to work on our starts. We gave them a 5-goal head start yet again. Addressed a few things, and for the last three quarters, it was a very competitive game. It pretty well stayed neck and neck, score-wise, but. Yeah, if you give sides a 5 or 6 goal head start, they're always going to be hard to chase down. But the kids that we threw in from the under-18 performed admirably as well, and we thank them very much. They got to run around, and we got a team on the park, and we didn't get the win, but it was a good game of footy.
Dave Jeffries gets promoted to the senior side this week again on another good game. Luke Summer-Hayes, Andy Rowan, Leon Peacock, Blake Smith, and young Caleb Farnsworth playing well. Leon Peacock kicked 4 goals, which is a really credible effort from him. And down into the kids, the 14-year-olds, there was no 18s or 16s, but the kids earlier on in the day had an interesting match. They came up against the Imperial boys, and they didn't lose. Now, they haven't won anything this year, but they didn't lose. They did draw 3-11-29 to 4-5-29. What a performance from the Kangas boys.
Oh, you would have thought they won the grand final, the lads. They just a great game of footy, game of the day. And they had a good crowd there to watch, and there was plenty of yelling. And we came from behind. We were pegging them back point by point by point in that last quarter. And Finn Brown gathered the ball on the boundary line, snapped it. Ball's in the air. We're all watching the time clock. There's 3 seconds to go. And, one of their little defenders got back and marked it right on the line, and the siren went. So, it was a draw, but it was a cliffhanger. And, look, the boys were they were happy. They were really happy with the draw. So, well done to them. We actually got a couple of players from Imperial, so I'd like to thank them for that. They gave us a couple of really good players. They certainly didn't give us their worst. They gave us one of their best, which is a great effort. And look, it made for a really good game of footy. And like I say, the kids thought they'd had a win, but they celebrated like they'd had one, so it was great.
Great stuff. Finn Brown, Harry Scott, and William Shattock a goal apiece, and Flynn Berry, I should say, Zachary Harris, Bodie Hastings, Liam Bond, John Shine, and Christy Higgins. Good on her for her performance there in the 14s. And good stuff. Okay, this week we go to what are some really important matches in senior football. Look at around those grounds, and it's Orimple and Merbeen. You'd reckon Orimple will get the win at Henshelwood?
I think so, mate. Yeah. I think that's a given. I'd be surprised if they drop that.
And South and Mildura playing for pride down there at Mildura, South at the Mildura Sporting Precinct now. But South, I think they will go into this game at the bottom. And so Mildura's win last week gives me the feeling that they could win this. Yeah,
I think so, mate. Yeah, they'll take a little bit of momentum into that. So they, fair chance that they'll go 2 in a row.
Imps and Wentworth, they've got a bit hanging on this at Brian Waitman after Imperials knocked you over last week, but Wentworth coming off a loss. I don't think that Imperials are in for a good day.
No, I believe that Wentworth would be very disappointed in that, and Wade will certainly have them fired up, so expect a very angry, competitive Wentworth this weekend.
You blokes, so let's have a look at the Ouyen United Kangas. Redcliffe should get the job done, even at Quandong Park. You've got one of the legends of the club coming back into the side.
Yeah, as we spoke earlier about some experience, we've got a few coming back in. Corey Gregson, Dean Staunton, probably one of the greatest backmen that the club's ever produced in. Andy Jardine is back out on the park. He'll go back. Look, he certainly won't get beaten, whoever lines up on him. So great to see him back. So we've got a lot more experience back in the team. We're a little bit better balanced. We still have a few out. Kane Stevens is missing, unfortunately, having just a cracking season. Steve-O is, but he's out. But it's a lot better looking unit we're going to send out. So hopefully, mate, we should be right.
All right, the reserve grade is going to be interesting here for the All Lads, because you come up against a side that really, if you look at you on the table, this is you in fifth. You won't make finals from here, but if you should beat the sixth place side.
Should do. So we've got a few coming back from the seniors. Our team looks pretty good as well. So I think that we'll certainly, we should be right, mate. It's going to be another tough game. They always are, fifth versus sixth. So depending on who they've got in and who they've got out. But look, we're fully aware that finals are gone. So we're going to play out the rest of the year with try and get a bit of pride and get a few more wins on the board and just get something out of the season. So hopefully, I think we should be right.
Yeah, get a win here would be great for the morale of the club, and also the 18s coming up against the side in fourth place. They don't want to drop this game because they could lose their position in that top four. So I think they should beat your boys.
Yeah, I think so. We're still going to struggle for numbers. We didn't have a full list last night to pick from, so it will be tough again for Benny and his lads. So they'll have a tough ask. I don't think that anyone's running around expecting us to win. So you never know, mate. Upsets happen. We'll see how we go, but it's going to be a really tough day for them boys.
I think the 14s likewise against a sixth place Redcliffe, so not too far, but obviously getting the confidence from last week should help the lads, and maybe that confidence could push them to push Redcliffe's all the way.
You never know, mate. Yeah, they'll still be pretty buoyed by their efforts. So hopefully, they'll go out again and do their best for sure. So it's going to be another big ask for them, lads. After last week, anything can happen, mate. We all hope for a miracle.
But just before we close our segment with the Ouyen United Kangas, they tell me some old blokes turned up to training, Andrew.
We do it once a year. We call it the OWL. So older, wiser, larger, slower. About 20 of us go out and train with the kids and then join in with the seniors. We did that last night. So saw today, mate. I tell you what, we had two hammies and a quad go in the first 10 minutes of players. So the trainers were working overtime on these old blokes, but the kids love it. It's good to run around with some older legends of the club. So I think we had 15 of us or so running around, and it was good. We certainly rehydrated after the event anyway, mate. But sore legs today. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
We do it every year, and we call it the OWL. So
yep,
older, wiser, larger, wiser, slower. Yeah. The kids get a lot out of it. That's great, and we get a lot out of it too as well.
We do, and tell you what, it's going to be a big day up there at Quandon Park at Redcliffe. It's a big day around the Sunraysia, and for the Ouyen United Kangas, a really important game to hang on to in their senior footy side. And my best to Benny Mole as he recovers, and to you, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to your commentary next week.
Cheers, mate. We'll chat next week, and all the best.